You know this place, don't you? You know it's waiting for you. You know that this is what you deserve.
I woke up from a nightmare. At least, I thought it was a nightmare. I couldn't be sure. Not after everything that's happened. I was lying in a soft bed. The room was rather pleasant. I was in the country somewhere. The window was open, and sunlight was falling in. It made my skin itch. My left leg was throbbing. I tried to move, and that's when I noticed I was strapped to the bed with heavy leather belts.
You're awake.
Why am I tied up?
Would you like some gruel?
Let me go!
Calm down. All in good time. It's just a safety precaution. And now for your straps. There you are.
Why am I here?
Your breakfast. Nice and hot. And some tea.
Where am I?
In the clinic, of course.
What clinic?
Aren't you a laugh? Now, you finish your breakfast, and when you're done, just press this little button. Oh, and don't forget your pill.
What pill? What is this place?
You're a silly little boy, do you know that? Doctor's orders twice daily with food. You're not going to be naughty, are you?
Are you going to spank me?
Take your medicine.
What is it?
It's just an antibiotic.
And I'm supposed to trust you?
It's really quite simple. If you don't take your pill, you won't get any gruel.
Perish the thought.
Mr. Higgins, Mr. Hewitt!
Two orderlies in white lab coats entered the room.
Mom?
Mr. Sinclair needs some help with his medicine.
They approached the bed and held me down.
Open wide.
They forced my mouth open.
There you are. That wasn't so bad now, was it? Here, have some water. It's very important you take your medicine on time.
What are you doing to me?
We're saving your life, Mr. Sinclair. I don't think you quite appreciate how serious your infection is.
Where am I? What's happening to me?
You're just too much. Ta-ta.
Help me! Somebody! Anybody! There is a darkness that is more than an absence of light. It's a living thing. It takes you completely. My name is John Sinclair. I work for Scotland Yard, Special Division.
Marylebone, London, 3:24 a.m. Bill Connolly was sleeping peacefully. So peacefully, in fact, that it took him a while to realize the phone was ringing.
Oh. Hello?
Bill? Is that you?
Who's this?
Bill, it's me. It's Sheila.
Who? Sheila? Sheila! Hey, how are you?
Sheila Hopkins, of course. Ever since he first laid eyes on her, he hadn't been able to get her out of his mind.
I'm sorry to call you so late.
No, that's quite... You all right?
I just didn't... Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know who else to call.
It's all right, it's fine. What's the matter?
I just needed to... I didn't know who else...
What happened? Sheila?
Bill, she...
What happened?
She's dead, Bill. Cordelia is dead.
Nunhead, southeast London, 10:28 a.m. Abbott and Sons was located in a rather shabby-looking Victorian house that loomed eerily over the neighborhood.
Well, here we are.
Charming place.
Hello? Is anyone here?
Hello?
And how may I be of assistance?
Oh, you scared me.
The man stood at the other end of the long room. He was perfectly still. His bony hands were clasped in front of him. Sheila Hopkins and Bill Connolly nervously approached him.
Step into my parlor.
Are you Mr. Abbott?
I am indeed.
Mr. William Abbott was a tall, elegant gentleman, but his face had a deathly pallor. His features were rough, his lips and jaw almost grotesque. His eyes had a dark red gleam.
Welcome.
He was, however, rather neatly dressed in a double-breasted suit. The suit was, of course, black, as is befitting for a man in his profession.
It is, I presume, a solemn occasion that brings you here.
A friend of mine, Cordelia Barnes.
A tragedy, indeed. She was so very young, so tender.
I wanted to...
You wanted to pay your respects.
Yes.
And you are, I presume, a relative of the deceased?
She was my friend.
And what a very dear friend you are. I am so terribly sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Abbott and Sons was one of the oldest and most reputable funeral homes in London. It used to be anyways. As of late, the company seems to have fallen on hard times, even though the clientele was still doing what it always does, dying.
Would you mind if could I see her?
Oh, but that is most irregular.
Oh, please.
A woman's tears can unlock any man's heart.
The viewing gallery was located in the back, a small, windowless, wood-paneled room filled with flowers.
Death is a teacher. It teaches us humility and strength. Ask yourself, what kind of person do you want to be in the face of this tragedy? And there she lies, all the world's worries now safely behind her.
Cordelia Barnes almost looked as if she was asleep in that open coffin. She wore a short-sleeved white dress, and her hair was neatly combed. Her hands were folded above her chest.
Cordelia!
Bill Connolly and the funeral director remained by the door, at a respectful distance.
I heard it was a drug overdose.
I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to disclose.
Sheila Hopkins noticed a single fly hovering above Cordelia Barnes's body. Then the fly landed on the still, dead lips. Slowly it crawled down the unmoving face, towards the arms. Sheila's eyes, transfixed, followed the creature. And then, suddenly...
Bill, would you come here, please?
Yes?
Do you see that?
What?
Look at her arms. What do you see?
The needle marks.
Mr. Abbott?
At your service?
What happened to Cordelia?
I'm afraid I don't quite follow.
What did she die of?
I'm afraid I can't...
What did she die of?
Heroin, I'm afraid.
I don't believe you.
I'm sorry?
Look at her. Those needle marks.
Yes, that is what happens when a person...
They're old.
I beg your pardon?
These track marks are old. The tissue is scarred.